Now, let's talk about some of the things that you can do just on your own to help transition through the perimenopause. One of the natural things you can do is beware of what I call the menopause pretenders. And the menopause pretenders are things like wine and alcohol. So I know a lot of times women are thinking they need to unwind and relax and have a glass of wine, and that may feel good in the moment, but understand that that wine at night could actually be a trigger for the hot flash later in the middle of the night. Why is that? Because when you drink that alcohol, your blood sugar is rising, especially an alcohol like wine. Your blood sugar rises initially. Then in the middle of the night, once your body's trying to correct for that high sugar, it may overcorrect and get your blood sugar too low. Your body wakes up, cortisol kicks in to try to raise the sugar back up to normal. So you're sweating at night, thinking that darn menopause, but understand that that alcohol might be a menopause pretender. Anybody dealing with menopause pretenders? Another menopause pretender to be on the lookout for, kind of the cousin, if you will, of alcohol is sugar. The sweet things, the snacks and the cookies and the ice cream at night. Again, it may be a comfort in the moment, but in the middle of the night when the blood sugar is trying to regulate itself, that could be a trigger for hot flashes. I would say stress. Is another one. Stress is so ubiquitous, it's all around us, but stress can hijack all of your hormones. So definitely stress is what I would call, a menopause stimulator, if you will. I'm not going to call it a pretender like I call the sugar and the alcohol, but it definitely can enhance some of the negative effects related to menopause. So just be aware of how stress plays a role. Let's talk about your diet first. One of the big things that I see a lot of women in the peri-menopause age category, they're lacking in protein intake. In general, it is recommended that you take in about half your body weight in grams of protein, up to 90 to 100 grams of protein is sort of where I say limited. You want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water for sure to flush that protein, but most women are not getting in enough protein and they're really heavy on carbs. Well, what is the problem when you're heavy on carbs? Well, carbs are broken down into sugar, so make sure that you understand that. And then any excess sugar that's not burned as energy right away is actually stored as fat. So whenever you're taking in carbs, I need you to think fat storage. Okay. So a lot of times what you can do to kind of help yourself transition through this is to make sure that you're focusing on protein, especially when you're noticing kind of the belly bulge. And I understand sometimes you're eating all the protein and you're doing all the things and it's still not working. And that's when you need to come see me. But if you haven't started doing those things yet, then that's an area that you can focus on to help yourself transition, especially if you're noticing the weight gain. And I think just a very important aspect that we need to realize, and we just can't get away from the fact that as we mature, as I like to say, your body's metabolism does slow down, which means you can't eat as much as you used to eat and not gain weight. It just doesn't work for a lot of reasons. Some of those are hormonal. Even one thing I've found with some folks I've talked to is that they don't really understand what a serving of protein is. Like, what does 20 to 30 grams of protein look like? It could be a protein shake, and that may be 25, 30 grams of protein just in one. When you're thinking about meat, flesh meat, it's about the size of the palm of your hand or as thick as a deck of cards. That's about a serving of protein, whether it's fish or chicken or steak. And that's going to automatically give you probably 30, 35 grams of protein. Because I realize that some people mistakenly think that grams of protein equals ounces of protein, and that's not right. Like you could have 5 ounces of fish and it may be 30 grams of protein. So make sure you're clear on how to figure the protein that you're taking in. But a lot of women are lacking in that. Another thing that you can do to really kind of aid in this process is really be mindful of your sleep as best you can. And I think, with social media, et cetera, it's very easy to, doom scroll, as they say, get caught up playing a game or whatever it is and not getting enough sleep. I'm guilty of that too. A lot of times I used to, take call as an OB-GYN. And so I'm used to working night shifts and things like that. And so I too have to be mindful of getting my sleep because when you're sleeping, it's not just about resting your body, but also understand that internally in your brain and in other organ systems, your body is repairing and restoring and sort of almost kind of doing like cleaning, if you will, kind of getting rid of things. And it's pretty amazing just the amount of repair and restoration that actually happens when you're sleeping. So another area that we want to really hone in on, and these are the basic lifestyle factors that sometimes we ignore just because life gets busy and we're stressed. And, one of the things that we do with folks we work with one-on-one is that we really stress these lifestyle things. We actually have staff person that is our lifestyle strategist. Like, how do we fit these healthy choices into our lifestyle. So those are some of the things that you could be doing just sort of to naturally help yourself navigate, optimizing your nutrient profile, vitamins such as vitamin D, fish oil, which is a anti-inflammatory, a good multivitamin, which I'll share information if you'd like to know about that, what I call the core four. So if you're interested in learning more about the core four, just let me know about that. But those are, again, some of the things that you can naturally do. So pay attention to your sleep, pay attention to your nutrition, watch out for those menopause pretenders.